Pelajaran nomor 92. Saudara pendengar, hari ini kita akan berlatih lebih lanjut tentang kalimat pasif dalam bahasa Inggris. Tetapi sebelumnya, mari kita meninjau kembali apa yang sudah kita pelajari.
The car can be fixed. It has to be repaired. Wheat is grown in Australia. A lot of meat is eaten in Australia. A lot of cars were sold last year. Films are shown here. Steel is used for making cars. Those cars are being painted now.
Dalam membentuk kata kerja pasif seperti tadi, kita tidak boleh lupa memakai suatu bentuk kata kerja be yang diikuti oleh bentuk past participle dari kata kerja yang dipakai. Misalnya,
a lot of cars are sold in Australia.
A adalah bentuk kata kerja be yang dipakai dalam kalimat tadi.
Are sold.
Bentuk jamak dipakai dengan kata benda jamak.
A lot of cars.
Dan bentuk simple present digunakan karena apa yang disebutkan merupakan sesuatu yang terjadi secara teratur seperti kebiasaan. Untuk waktu lampau,
were. A lot of cars were sold. A lot of cars were sold.
Dan untuk waktu yang akan datang,
a lot of cars will be sold. A lot of cars will be sold.
Kata kerja seperti can juga dapat digunakan.
A lot of cars can be made in this factory. A lot of checks must be made.
Artinya, harus diadakan banyak pengecekan.
A lot of checks must be made. My car has to be repaired.
The brakes should be checked regularly.
Remnya harus dicek secara teratur. Saudara mungkin masih ingat bahwa dalam salah satu pelajaran yang lalu, ayah Chris mengalami kecelakaan mobil karena remnya tidak jalan. Berikut ini, Chris sedang berbicara tentang hal tersebut kepada Iwan.
How often should the brakes be checked?
Well, they ought to be checked regularly. They needn't be checked every week, but they should be checked once a month or before a long trip.
Jangan lupa kata needn't artinya tidak perlu. Dan dalam kalimat pasif, penggunaannya sama dengan kata-kata must, can, should, ought to, will, have to, may, might. Coba dengarkan beberapa contoh kalimat pasif yang memakai kata-kata ini.
Must. They must be checked. Can. They can be moved now. Should. They should be checked regularly. Needn't. They needn't be checked every week. Will. They'll be fixed tomorrow.
Sekarang, coba saudara ulangi sesudah Chris. Siap?
They must be checked. They can be moved now. They should be checked regularly. They needn't be checked every week. They'll be fixed by tomorrow.
Sekarang, mari kita berlatih dengan bentuk-bentuk lain. Pertama-tama, the continuous tense dalam waktu lampau. Ketika Iwan dan Chris mengunjungi pabrik mobil dulu,
some cars were being sprayed.
Chris sedang bercerita tentang kunjungan ke pabrik mobil.
First, we saw where the containers are stored. Then, inside the factory, the cars were being built. Some cars were being sprayed. In another section, doors and windows were being installed. and the cars were all being moved from one stage to the next.
Artinya, mobil-mobil itu sedang dipindahkan dari satu bagian ke bagian berikutnya.
Yes, the cars were all being moved from one stage to the next.
Coba dengarkan contoh-contoh tentang apa yang sedang dilakukan pada waktu lampau.
Cars were being built. Some cars were being sprayed. Doors were being installed. Windows were being installed. Cars were being moved.
Sekarang, coba ucapkan sesudah Chris. Siap?
Cars were being built. Some cars were being painted. Doors were being installed. Windows were being installed. Cars were being moved. Then we saw some other cars. They were being checked.
Sekarang, coba dengarkan beberapa contoh lagi. Kali ini dalam bentuk past perfect yang menggambarkan suatu hal yang sudah selesai. Chris melihat sebuah mobil yang sudah hampir selesai.
The windows had been installed. The engines had been installed. The doors had been installed. The lights had been installed.
Dan berikut ini bentuk negatifnya dengan memakai kata not.
But they hadn't been finished.
Perhatikan bentuk kata kerjanya.
They had not been finished. They hadn't been finished.
Why not, Chris?
They were being tested. The brakes were being checked. And the engines were being checked.
Sekarang, coba ulangi sesudah Chris. Siap?
The engines had been installed. The windows had been installed. The lights had been installed. But the cars hadn't been finished.